All right, that's it. That's all. Another Calgary Flames season in the books, and they close it out with a win, 3-1 against the LA Kings in Anze Kopitar's final NHL regular season game. Arseny Sergeev with 37 saves in his NHL debut, and Calgary will be a lovely third alternate for best lottery odds. It's Cami and Mike for one last Afterburner, a presentation of Bet365. Fans can check out Bet365's 3-goal early payout. When your team goes up by 3, you get paid. It's that easy. Download the app. You got to be 19 or older, and you have to play responsibly. And we have one last chance to support Youth Centers of Calgary with the Super Chat. Help out kids with a place where they are welcome and accepted as they are, and have your thoughts, questions, and concerns heard. I will start with yours, though, Mike. What are your thoughts on, this game and where we're at with the season as a whole?
It's over. Yes. I sat here 5 months ago and I said that, Cami, we have 5 more months of this, and now it's over. And the Calgary Flames have finished 29th. And I think if in October you told me that the Calgary Flames would finish bottom 5 in the NHL and get a pretty good chance at a lottery pick, I'd be, not a good chance at a lottery pick. They'd have a lottery pick and they'd have a good chance of moving up. I would be pretty excited about that. And I think the fact that the Flames were so low as they were for so much of the year sort of skewed people's perceptions a little bit of what this year was going to be and what this year was likely to be. And here we are with an outcome that, had you told most people that this was the outcome in September, I think they would have welcomed it. And I think it is a big step forward for the organization to have come out of this season being in 29th.
Ryan Huska used the word disappointment. I know that no team likes to be the sacrificial lamb or goat or whatever. They're always going to want to play their hearts out. They're always going to want to make playoffs because you'll never have this team again. But changes had to be made, and changes were made. There were some big departures, and people wanted to see the kids. And you know what? We saw some great things from the kids down the stretch here. Team Tank would have been, for how much people were complaining about Zane Parek's usage, Team Tank would be pretty unhappy if he'd been doing this stuff since December.
Yeah, no kidding. And the one word that I have seen altogether far too much this evening from a variety of different places is the word mid. That, the Calgary Flames are destined for mediocrity. They are mid once again. And I have never heard a 29th place team described as mid. This is the same team that finished 16th or 17th last year, and people were clamoring for them to be in this spot. And now that they are in this spot, it's not good enough. And to me, I think it's just, ultimately, when you get to this point in the draft, you were never guaranteed a top 2 pick. And in this year, there are sort of 2 players that people seem to have on that particular pedestal. My contention is that the end result that we are seeing here is that because the Flames won tonight, I think they're going to get the same player regardless. I think they're going to get whoever they would have wanted at 3 at 4. And my other contention is that the combinations of the ping pong balls are entirely different at 3 than they are at 4. They don't add to your existing combination if you move up to 3. They give you entirely different ones. And by the time that the first ball is drawn, those odds are going to be completely different than what we are sitting at here today. And as we all see, the odds are done live. And last year, the Flames, I think, were 1 ball away from winning the second lottery, even though they had the very worst odds. So, again, that's a lot of ways to say it. The other way to say it is, boy, if you are going to get screwed out of one spot in the draft lottery, might as well be on a goal by Zane Parek that is the best goal any Flames player scored all season long.
Yeah, I wonder if people say mid sometimes just because of the way we got here. There were some pretty stinky games. The Colorado one, I'm sure recency bias will go down as the worst of the season. But because that wasn't happening night after night after night, they were in so many games. And it wasn't always the most exciting hockey. It wasn't like what the Sharks are doing where you're like, oh my gosh, they're popping off and scoring these highlight reel goals. They're just allowing 5. I think maybe that's where some of the mid conversation starts to come from. Also, does Calgary just have the best goaltending system in the NHL or what?
What is this? I mean, where is this conversation coming from? Because I am so accustomed to growing up in a city where the Flames goaltending was terrible. The quality of their goaltending and their evaluation and their scouting and their development of the position was maligned for years. After Mika Kiprasov left, they couldn't find anybody. They went through dozens of goaltenders in the 2000s and the 2010s trying to find somebody. And now we're here, and the Flames seemingly can't stop finding these goaltenders. They have Wolf, they have Cooley, who had excellent seasons. They have Sergeev, who they pull out of the ECHL midway through the year, going up to the AHL, a 7th-round pick. He had a remarkable night, being basically called into duty. And not only on top of that, they have a couple of other guys in their system as well. They have Kirill Zarubin, who, they drafted with one of the picks they got for Noah Hannafin. They've got pieces. And so it is beyond wild to see the Flames system stacked in net in this way, because it is the exact opposite of what I am, of what I have come to expect for the Calgary Flames.
Well, it's what you grew up with, Mike. It's what you grew
Yes.
up with. We have a couple super chats we'll buzz through here before we get to the recap, starting with Euphoric Toast. Thanks for helping out YCC. Everyone will feel dumb complaining about this win when the Flames win the draft lottery from the 4th best odds.
Well,
we
and
love to see hope. We love to see hope. I think we'll run, when we get to Bet365 later in the show, we'll run the Tankathon a couple times just to see what we end up with.
Yeah, we will. It's gonna be a real interesting run here. The one thing that I think people again don't realize is that if the Flames do win the draft lottery from 4 to 1, it means they would not have won it from 3. Just flat out, the combinations are all completely different, and it just they change. They are completely different. So we don't know. It's a 9.5, I think, % chance, but May 5th can't come soon enough.
Coming up quick. Cheeks McGee with the $49.99 super chat. My goodness. Well, we did it, boys. We're at the mercy of the lottery. Either way, I believe the hockey gods will be looking out for us come draft day. Gods of Olympus, Odin, Cthulhu, please give us a sign. Love you guys. See you next season. Future is bright. You know what? Future is bright. Future is bright. And I think we are looking at part of the future when the Flames were giving their final salute to the fans. And you look at who's out there as everyone's saying goodbye. Most of the players have made their way to the bench, made their way off the ice. And I think it was Gridden, Perek, and Klapka who were the last 3 at center ice, giving each other handshakes, congratulating each other on the season. So might be the future right there. And then we have Nathan Explosion 1989. Thanks for popping into our show earlier, Mike. You're right about the draft order. I believe in Connie's scouting.
Yeah, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I mean, I think it is going to be way more shaken up at the top than people expect. I think there is going to be a vast difference in perception of some of these kids who we have, I think the last major check-in from a lot of these aggregators was sort of after the World Juniors. And after we get through these playoffs, especially in junior, I think we're going to see a lot of different risers and some different fallers as well. And I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about it later on in the show. But there are a few guys who I think people might be surprised to see maybe go lower than we expect.
For sure. We'll dig into the recap here. Not a lot of scoring. Flames were outshot 11-2, I think it was, after the first period. There was a point where Calgary had 3 shots. All of them came from defensemen. You had Mata, Whitecloud, and Perek. And we get a rare power play goal to open things up. This was the sign that you knew that the Flames were coming away with a win tonight. Gridden dishes to wide open Morgan Frost coming off the back post for the redirection. Great apple from one of the real bright spots of the season. And yeah, you like that reaction right there. Coronado also picks up the secondary on that one.
Yeah, Matvey, I mean, just continuing this great run. That's a perfectly placed pass right through a seam that was only basically open for a second. And Frost on the doorstep. All these flyers, former Flyer night at the Saddle Dome, the Frostby trade, continuing to pay dividends. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's going to be a big summer for Morgan Frost. UFA in 27, eligible for an extension July 1st. And I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get that contract here, if he's going to get it somewhere else. But he's put himself in line to make a decent amount of dough with the 22 goal season.
We also saw some X-Flyer on X-Flyer violence. Scott Lawton had a brutal shot block that I think the puck went like up his stick and into his face. I was
Yeah.
surprised to see him come back, honestly.
Looked dangerous. It was Lawton's been a good fit in LA. It was dangerous to see.
You bet. Didn't take long for the Kings to tie it up. The equalizer came courtesy of the second line. Laferriere just wheels around the back of the net. Moore comes driving in and passes back for Byfield in the slot. This is the gaff. 2 Kings right in front of the
Arsuniev, the last man.
Goaltending was seriously stealing the show going into the third end. Highlight of the night, Zane Parekh. My goodness, no one was happier than that guy after that goal. Spins away from his check twice and just walks off the wall and absolutely rips that thing top corner.
Yeah, this is the goal of the year for the Calgary Flames. I don't really think there's any debate. This was just a remarkable dipsy doodle play by number 19, who goes upstairs, and the smile stays on his face for the full minute after he scores. He was pumped up to get this one. It was just sick. And for Flames fans, I mean,
and for all the conversation that there was about how badly everything was going at the start of the season, which I hate because he is so young. He is so young. He's younger than Cale Makar was when he was breaking into the NHL. We all got to temper our expectations a bit. The last couple of weeks here, we've started to see more of these flashes of brilliance and him having fun while doing it, and the team having fun, even while they weren't putting together a winning record. So I think this strikes as nice a balance as you can between the people who want to have the best possible lottery odds while seeing winning habits instilled in this team. So that was pretty wicked. Congratulations, Zane Parekh, on that. I thought we were going to see some Kopitar magic here, but Sergeev, there was this great rush from the Kings pretty shortly after the Zane goal where that was probably their... No, I was going to say that was their best chance to tie it, but there was a wide open net that Clark missed.
It was ridiculous that the Flames won this game. Just pulling up the expected goals right now. Everybody on the roster got killed tonight. They had 5 guys in the single digits for expected goals, including Michael Backlund, which is crazy. In total, the chances tonight were 35-15 for LA at even strength. High dangers were 12-4. Shot attempts were 61-34. Expected goals were 80% for LA. One of the most lopsided single game results I've seen all year. And yet Arseny Sergeev was the number 1 star. And yeah, the acrobatics from the Shreveport Mugbug alumnus were really something to behold. And I mean, yeah, I guess if there's anybody you want to blame for moving down 1 spot in the lottery, it's him. But what are you going to do? I mean, he wanted to play and win his first NHL game, and he did. So power to you, buddy.
Only goalie to start in all 3 leagues this season. EC, A, now NHL. You can never take that away from him, and I would hate to cheer against a guy like that who has the opportunity of a lifetime in front of him against one of the active. And honestly, Anze Kopitar, all-time great.
Absolutely. And also, I just want to mention this. Pike, we had Pike on the Warmies, the pregame show, and this is cool. So Arseny Sergeev is the 3rd goalie in Flames history to play in all 3 of those leagues in the same year. And get this, okay? So the other 2 are Danny Sabrin and Yoni Ortio. But Sergeev now is the only one of the 3 to debut in all of those 3 leagues in the same year. And he also won all 3 of his debuts. So his first ECHL start was a 5-2 win over the Kansas City Mavericks, the former Flames ECHL affiliate, on October the 18th. He stopped 36 of 38 for a .947 save percentage. In the AHL, His debut this year came on December the 21st, a 2-1 win over the San Diego Gulls, in which he stopped 52 of 53 for a .981 save percentage in a 2-1 win. The Wranglers got absolutely killed in that game. And then tonight, obviously, playing against the LA Kings, he stops 27 of 28 in a 3-1 win. So Sergeev plays in all three leagues. He debuts in all three leagues. Like Yoni Ortio had played in the AHL for years. So had Danny Sabrin for years before he made his NHL debut. But Sergeev has gone from college to the ECHL to the AHL to the NHL in the span of 6 months and has won his debut in all three leagues. Never heard of that before.
That's a great pull from Pike. And I know that he didn't do this all in the span of one season, but I still think like Scott Darling going from the SPHL to Stanley Cup champion is all time.
Yep. Pike had the pull for the Sabrin and Ortio. I will take full credit for the winning the debuts all in the same year. As that is remarkable. And
congratulations, you're all scholars. Thank
you. I was just looking at elite prospects right now. I have a EP premium subscription. I'll have you know. So super cool stuff. And I think he's there penciled in Wranglers starter next year. I mean, that's been a tough gig all year long with the Wranglers, and now here we are, and he's looking legit.
My favorite comment of the night already. Parker Bird, what's the SPHL?
South Pacific, baby.
Southern Professional.
Whatever.
The stop.
Isn't it the South? Isn't it the South Pacific Hockey League? Really?
Southern Professional.
Wow.
Buddy, I've been there. I have been to an SPHL game in Macon, Georgia.
Oh, the Macon Whoopee.
No, they were the Macon Mayhem.
Really? What about the Macon Whoopee? They were a hockey team.
They were a hockey team. No,
they were in the Central Hockey League.
Rail Yard Dogs when I was there.
Oh my goodness. The Macon Whoopee were in the CHL, the Central Hockey League. So that's wow. Macon, baby.
SPHL is not East Coast. It is
different things. SPHL wishes it was the East Coast.
Yeah. I'd say it's probably like Fed adjacent. Is that fair?
Something like that. It's a little better than the Fed, I would say, but a little bit.
No, I just know, like when I was there, like it's obviously not a full-time position, but like a person who like blogged about the team was also hooking up with a player on the team, wrote a romance novel so ahead of her time, and the guy, like the player, posed for the cover. And I like every now and then I'm still tempted to go back and just buy it on Amazon, just to see how it could have stacked up against Heated Rivalry. They could have been making bank down in Macon.
There you go. Look at you, Cami. You got a side hustle.
Right. Well, actually, Aaron Vickers and I always joked that we were going to start a podcast and we would just read it out loud. And we've got it pretty down. I think we could crush it still.
Yeah, pull it out. There we go.
Couple super chats here. Robert Mulligan, sigh. Really? Why? What's wrong?
Poor Robert.
Amazing goal by Zane. The future does look bright. What's your guys' top 5 draft rankings as of today? Interesting day to look at it. NHL Central Scouting dropped its final rankings heading into the 2026 draft. I'd say probably the most notable drop. It's like 2 spots. They now have Carson Karls ahead of Keaton Verhoff. Yep. I think was probably the most interesting one. Obviously, I've been singing Carson Karls' praises pretty much all season. I think if you're not picking one or two, take your pick of the defenseman. Watching Daxon Rudolph in the playoffs, I'm loving his game more and more. If you don't think you can get someone like a Keaton Verhoff, he's got the physicality, the offensive side to his game. He tied Josh Morrissey's franchise record with the Raiders for goals in a single season by a defenseman with 28. He's like leading his team in scoring in the playoffs as a defenseman. I don't think you can miss on him. He's also a Lacombe guy.
And he's named Daxon.
There's some good names.
It's perfect.
JP always goes by JP, but I think Jeffrey Paul is a very fun name.
Jeffrey, Paul, Hurlbert. Jeffrey and Paul both sound like the names of popes.
Yeah.
Call them the Holy See.
Pope Jeffrey.
Pope Jeffrey. Pope Jeff.
I've never seen Get Him to the Greek, but I remember that was something about when the world hands you a Jeffrey or something.
Jefferson.
What do you have, like a top 5 draft rankings right now?
Yeah.
I'll say, like, I haven't seen the international guys enough to like really see how they slot in, because like my experience in them is basically like Hlinka Gretzky for the guys who are there in World Juniors. Smits is nasty.
Yeah, I got McKenna at 1, and then I got a big tier after that. I think Stenberg is in that tier. Malhotra is in that tier. Carls is at the very top of that tier for me. I think even maybe ahead of a certain Ivar Stenberg. I'm not that. Maybe. I think
Reed stock is rising too.
Oh my goodness. I'm really curious to see how it all shakes out, because I think, like I said, I think it might go a little differently than people expect. So I mean, the interesting one to me from that central scouting was that Liam and Marcus Ruck are at 20 and 23 respectively. They
have been climbing a lot, and at the Hitman Tigers game last night, Medicine Hat completed the sweep. Even if they didn't score themselves, Liam and Marcus were tearing it up on a line with Andrew Bash. And I couldn't help but think about how far they have come, because there was a certain point in November where we're waiting for that CHL USA Prospects Challenge. The initial roster comes out. Neither of them are on it. An OHL player gets hurt. Liam gets the invite. And I can't help but think about, because Marcus came to those games. There was a point in that season where the top prospects are playing in that rink, and Marcus Ruck is in the stands watching them, and he got more points than anybody, and has seen some massive strides in his game. And we've heard that from them that some teams are interviewing them as a pair.
Yeah, you gotta get them both. That's my opinion. I think you gotta get them both. Yeah. The ship might have sailed now that the Vegas pick is going to be no higher than 24th, but then again, you can always move up, and it is tantalizing. I think they're going to be extremely undervalued by some teams.
The way that they move the puck is insane.
Yeah.
It's so much. And even like, obviously they've said, and Willie said, like, they hear the Sedin comparisons. Not fair to compare a couple of teenagers to Hockey Hall of Famers, but I love that Willie admits, he's like, yeah, sometimes in practice, like, he'll do something in a drill that he used to do with the Sedins just to see how they react, and he can see the shades of it there.
Oh, they're so creative, and you got the added chemistry with Andrew Basha. I mean, I'm all in favor of it. So, hey, it feels like it was just yesterday that you and I were up in Whitehorse watching them play against. Who are they playing against up there again?
Kelowna.
That's right.
They ate him up too. Kelowna was so hurt though.
Yeah.
Their poor goalie like had to get his appendix taken out right before.
Oh. Yeah, no good. Very bad. No. Don't recommend.
The kid threw up on me and Gavin McKenna's dad.
Wait, really? Oh, yeah.
Well, because I was interviewing him and Crystal like at one of the breaks, and it's a pretty small barn in Whitehorse, and you have the cameras there. So we're standing in front of some stairs, and obviously like all these kids are just piled in behind us, and their daughter is standing behind the camera watching us, and we're doing the interview. Like everything's going fine. They're super nice people. And all of a sudden, like it smells pretty bad.
Oh no.
And we just see like everyone behind the camera, like their jaws are dropping, and we wrap up and we realize that some kid has had way too much candy. And we look back and there's just puke all over the ground. And me and Willie look, and I'm like, oh, it's on me. And he's like, I think I'm okay. I'm like, it's definitely on your jacket.
Too much
I think
candy.
it was like the first intermission too. He's like going up to do the walk-off interviews with the players, and you see them like,
Yeah.
sorry, man.
I wasn't expecting that sentence to finish with candy, but that's
Well, it was a small child.
ugh.
Like, I don't think
Ugh.
there's anything nefarious going on. I think
Ugh.
kids just tend to vomit at a higher rate than adults.
No kidding. Ugh. Don't like it.
Yeah. But I will say Willie was like mostly out of the line of fire, but that was not the way I expected that interview to go.
Willie D, baby. He was, yeah.
No, Gavin's dad, Willie.
Oh, well, there we go. The other Willie.
Yeah.
So many Willies up in the Yukon. There's just a billion of them.
The cousins, Mama Cousins was running around in there too.
Ugh. Just everybody. So many people. Not really that many people, but yeah.
Enough.
I
went back and looked at the starting lineup from the first game of the season to tonight just to see like really like how much turnover did we have? How many defensemen from night 1 do you think suited up on night 82?
From night 1, I don't care. Here, let me go name by name. I don't think Perek played in game 1. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't. Okay, that's what I thought.
It is who you most expect.
So Rasmus Anderson, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Weegar. Kevin Ball, of course. Joel Hanley, I would imagine. Oh boy, I've gotten two of the lefties, 2 of the righties. Oh boy. I don't know if anybody in the lineup tonight was in that lineup. I don't think
Braden
so. Pahal was in the opening night lineup. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then the other lefty would have been why am I blanking on this?
Ominous Flames got it.
Let's see. Where? Pahal? No, who am I missing?
He's the only one who played both games.
Sorry, I've only said 5 guys though. I said Rasmus, I said Weegar, I said Ball, I said Hanley, and now Pahal. Who am I missing?
I don't remember. I just wrote down who was at both.
Oh my god. Ugh,
I was not thorough.
Bean. There
you go.
Bean. Of course. Jake Bean.
Did it. 7 forwards from night 1 and night 82.
Never forget Jake Bean. Yeah.
Backman, Coleman, Frost, Sharangovich, Coronado, Klapka, and Gridden.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, real ones remember Matt Vigridden's first NHL goal. Right in off the skate of some schmuck up in Edmonton. There we go.
Some poor soul. And we got a pike bomb in here. Sergeev going back to the AHL. I think they've got 3 games left on their schedule starting tomorrow in Colorado.
It's in Colorado. They have the Eagles.
Is their last series?
I think so. They have 2 games left, and they are both against the Eagles in the city of Loveland. Got to go to Loveland. I've never been, but I hear it's full of love. Yeah, it's something.
You can always bail on there and move to Calgary. And when you're looking for a house, condo, townhouse, or duplex in the beautiful city of Calgary, you can call up Derek Newman with the Derek Newman Group. That's DERRICK, connected to the city, volunteers in the community, and clients tend to stay with him. 90% of his business is done through referrals and repeats, and he's pretty low pressure, a consultative approach to achieving your real estate goals. So if you're interested, check out his new website at dereknewmangroup.com. That's DERRICK Newmangroup.com, or call him at 403-619-6661. Here's Samson coming through on the super chat. Dear hockey gods, please accept this last sacrifice from the ethical tank, hoping for McKenna, Stenberg, Smeets, Bjork, or Lawrence.
Well, that's the thing. If
you all messed around too much with the Reddit curses against Dallas, and that's why they haven't been in the playoffs since. So I don't know if you want to be messing around with sacrifices now.
But here's the thing. If you want one of those guys, they're going to get one of them. Like, that's the thing. You can say, oh, yeah, I really want to get McKenna. And I get it. You know, you want to win the lottery. If you have a list of 5 guys, they're going to get one of the 5 guys. I mean, I get it. Maybe they fall down to 6, but in all likelihood, one of those 5 guys will still be there at 6. So I don't know. I think, I think people are going to be, I understand why people are disappointed. I 100% get it. I feel, part of me feels the same way. By the same token, this always happens at the draft where people are disappointed about where it ends up being. And then come draft day, you get to 2, 3, 4 picks before where the Flames end up selecting. And it's like, wow, the Flames are going to get one of these guys at that spot. Like I remember last year, and they ended up picking at 18. And people were like, oh, I hope they can get Cole Reshny. I hope Cole Reshny is one of the guys who's there. He'll probably be gone. And then by the time that they get to 18, I was hearing people saying, oh, yeah, they're guaranteed to get at least, one of Cole Reshny, Cullen Potter, and so here. And then they get Cole Reshny at 18. And by the time they get to 32, it's like, wait a minute, Cullen Potter is still there? And they could get him at 32. And now you look at Cole Reshny, and he is a guy who, if you did a redraft of the 2025 draft, which would be silly to do, but he'd probably be in contention to go in the top 10. And that's just how the draft works. So they're going to get somebody good.
How sure were people that TJ Ginla was going to be available at 9?
People were so sure. They were 100%
sure. There were so many Flames there in Vegas. I will never forget. It was like all the air got let out of a balloon. The audible gasp in the sphere.
And you know what? And I will go back to this. How many people last year thought that Ben Kindle would go ahead of Cole Reshny before the draft? You did? Really?
Ben Kindle. I could see like maybe a knock on size, but I don't think Cole is like that much bigger than Ben. Yeah. And it's not a knock on Cole Reshny. It's just that Ben Kindle might be the most creative player I've seen playing at that level.
Because like here's what I'm gonna.
Brain was like the biggest separator, honestly. There are guys in the AHL who are quad A players who probably have better shots than some NHL players. They might be better skaters than some NHL players. The biggest differentiator is how fast you can think the game, how fast you can make those decisions.
Sure.
And Ben Kindle's got a brain on him.
Here's what I will say.
I don't know if I expected him going just outside the top 10, but
nobody did.
Yeah.
Here's what I will say. Going into last year's draft, Reshny, I'm going to go with Bob McKenzie, who sadly is no longer doing these lists, but was probably the most accurate predictor of where guys were generally going to go, to the point of, in some years, his list like followed the draft order exactly. And going into last year's draft, he had Reshny at 19 and Kindle at 22, and he had Cullen Potter at 21. And like the consolidated ranking from EP was like Kindle was going to go in the 20s. And all of a sudden he goes at 11. And I was looking at the Flames going into that draft being like, I hope they get Reshny. And if they can't, I hope they get Kindle. If Reshny's already gone, I hope they get Kindle. And it goes in reverse. So it's like, these things are so difficult to project.
And the two of them playing together at U18s.
Magic.
Nigh unstoppable.
Yeah. So, and again, I feel like people are understating the potential impact that might happen with Ivar Stenberg not scoring a goal in the last 6+ weeks of the season. Like Feb 12 to April, no goals. And I get it. He got a few assists. He wasn't scoring at nearly the same clip. His ice time was down a little bit with in the SHL. I think there is a real potential here where after pick 1, it goes completely off the rails and people are surprised, because every few years, that's exactly what happens. And we saw nearly the exact same thing happen one of the last times the Flames picked this high, which was in 2016. One of the craziest drafts I can ever remember, where Matthews went 1, Laine went 2, and then all of a sudden it all went to hell. And Columbus picked Dubois, Puljujarvi fell, Juolevi went above Tkachuk, and all of the pre-draft expectations went out the window. And all of a sudden Clayton Keller is a 90-point guy who goes at 7. And over
a commodity that year.
Over Alex Nylander, who everybody thought was going to be the next big thing and ended up flaming out of the NHL in like 5 years. And it was bedlam.
What's Levy done?
Well, yeah, Ole Levy. So it was bedlam, and the draft is always bedlam. And so far, Craig Conroy has given me enough to think that things will be fine.
You betcha. Another super chat here from Shrimp on the Barbie. Thanks for the shows this season. Love from Aussie.
Oh, just the best.
Thanks.
Let's. You know what? I've been meaning to do this all year. 2 Australian dollars to Canadian dollars. Oh, Aussie, you're screwing us out of 4 cents. That's $1.96 Canadian. Oh, Aussie. It's okay. Come up to Calgary and you'll make it up. I know you will.
Come hang out with us. Leave the fox bats in Australia. Those things are terrifying.
Straya.
And one from Repel Milk. Great work this season, Cami. You're too kind. I don't think I have a ton of fans in the chat these days, but that is so appreciated. Thank you for watching. Like, thanks for hanging out with everyone with us throughout the season, everybody. Yeah, you're all the best. We're lucky that we get to do this so much.
We are lucky. We are very lucky because I think of the way that this show works, and occasionally we have Ryan Pinder on the show, whose greatest credential is as a former Abbotsford Heat play-by-play guy. Okay, we have Dean Boomer Molberg, pride of Brandon, Manitoba, who has been on. Yeah, sure. Steinbach worked in Brandon, has been all about, but a little over the hill, what have you. Ryan Pike, Flames Nation managing editor, great guy, make no mistake. Kent Wilson, the OG editor emeritus of Flames Nation, but still no television experience for either of those two. We have Bobby Germany, a rising star, a great fella, Clipper extraordinaire. We got me, a college dropout who hawks all sorts of weird things on the side. And is generally okay to look at, but doesn't really have great opinions. And then we have Cami Kepke, a former global television WHL superstar, who is truly the face of this show. So I think Cami deserves a ton of praise.
You cut that out.
Wow.
And also Jack and Yasmin.
And also, of course, the best producers ever.
Yes. Truly the best. Truly the best. Yeah. Also say goodbye to one of the best today, Anze Kopitar. Man, I'm glad that they made sure to key back in on the handshake line when Dustin Wolf was talking to him. Obviously, you know how much the Kings and Quick and Kopitar meant to him growing up. Franchise points, games played leader, 2-time Stanley Cup champion. How do you feel about the kind of farewell season trend where everyone knows that it's a guy's last time through, so they get to have the tributes and the handshakes and all that?
I think it's interesting. I think it's really cool. I think Kopitar is the kind of guy who deserves it. He, he won 2 Stanley Cups, Selke candidate perennially, and yet I still think he's underrated as a player. I think if you tell people to pick let's say, pick one of Kopitar, Bergeron, and Taves, and pick them at their prime and sort of say, who do you take? I think a lot of people would take Kopitar at 3 out of those 3. And personally, I might take him at 1. Like, I think at his true peak, there were few players in the NHL more dominant than Anze Kopitar, and the longevity has been amazing. He's got Taves beat on the longevity. Maybe Taves hasn't beat at peak, but even then, I don't know, man. So I think Kopitar deserves a ton of respect. First ballot Hall of Famer, no question. And super cool to see him go out like that.
Yeah, it was wicked. I like having the chance for teams to kind of say goodbye. Does kind of force a player's hand when they can't really fake you out on the retirement, though.
Can't come back after that.
That's Ovechkin on purpose. Like, get out of here, scamp.
Yeah. No, it's. I mean, we saw it with Marc-Andre Fleury last year, and then he tried to tease us a little bit throughout the season, saying, "Oh, maybe I'll come back." I don't know, and he didn't. And I wonder if maybe the send off last year was part of the reason why. So yeah, Kopi. I mean, it's official, and we'll see him in the playoffs. I don't know for how long they're playing against the Avalanche, which is Not a fate I would wish upon anybody, but yeah, great career. And again, first ballot Hall of Famer, the best Slovene by far in NHL history.
Heck yeah. Another super chat here. You guys are really coming through with the super chats tonight. I
Love it.
appreciate that. Last one of the season. Real Rampant Lion. Great work this season, homies. Cami and her quirky little bro were definitely my favorite pairing. I'll go get Bearhawk.
That's excellent.
Yeah, I'll take it. I see siblings for us.
Yeah, definitely. I've got a lot of little brother energy. I will pull behind the curtain ever so slightly. I only ever do this seldom. I seldom ever do this, but I will pull back the curtain ever so slightly tonight and say that I am the youngest of 5. Did you know that? It's true.
I wouldn't have guessed it. I guess I've met 2 of your sisters.
Yeah, I am the youngest of 5. And there's a big age gap. So yeah, I was always a little young. I was always a little on the looking up to people side. So yeah, no, I can see how it translates. And shut up, by the way, Showtime 8249. You need to chill in the chat, and we'll just leave it at that.
And I am a mean oldest sister, so
yeah, exactly. It perfectly translates.
Another Aussie, Matt C, popping in here. Thanks for the shows this year. 204.
204. Look at that. Oh,
everyone's doing their math today. Everyone's doing that math today. Well, it's been such a fun season that we should probably find a chance for everybody to go celebrate at one of 2 unicorn locations. Take your pick on 4th. That's where a bunch of us got together at the start of the season. And then you got the 3 floors, 3 bars on 8th. They got it all. The hockey, football, soccer, UFC, and all the fun games like Golden Tee, Buck Hunter, and Pinball. Going to be a great place to go watch some playoff hockey here. First round is always the best. Always the best.
Yeah, I don't want to go on a rant about playoff format again, but yeah, it's a party. Brosevsky in the chat said it. Man, unicorn is a party.
I think we need to go back to the 80s and go full chaos 1v32.
Oh.
Or sorry,
wow.
1v16.
1v32 would be nuts. Can you imagine Colorado against Vancouver? I mean, Vancouver did beat them a couple weeks ago, so who knows?
Would tune into that, though, is the thing.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it would be crazy, but yeah. Hey, Flames would be playing Minnesota, something like that. Like, they might be able to pull it off.
What would one
be? Who finished 4th?
Buffalo.
Flames Buffalo. Oh, my 2 loves.
Wait. Okay, so if it was 1v16, Colorado Columbus, Detroit Carolina, Utah Dallas, Vegas Buffalo, Washington Tampa Bay, Philly Habs, Pittsburgh Minnesota, Boston Ottawa.
Wow. There we go. I mean, that's I mean, I'm fine with just 1v8. I don't need 1v16, but yeah, it's better than what we have right now. The divisional format stinks.
I hate it. I know they talked about creating rivalries. I hate seeing the same series year after year.
It's the worst. I'm so glad we don't have to see Edmonton against LA again. That was just the worst repeated thread in the NHL all those playoff years. Hated it. The Kings, the perennial doormats.
Better series.
What's that?
I actually think those were some of the better series.
Oh, I just hated it. They were perennial doormats, and it drove me nuts because it just gave the Oilers a runway to level up, to heat up in the playoffs. They could, no matter how poorly they finished a season, they knew they would play the Kings in the first round, get a nice couple easy laps around the rink, delude the Kings into thinking they had a chance for a little bit, and then, turn it on and go for a run. And I don't think
no respect on LA's name.
No, they stink. Not a fan. They're going to, if there was any team that would be able to lose in 3 games this year, it's the LA Kings against the Colorado Avalanche. Not a fan.
Well, against Colorado.
They could lose in 2. Just not a fan.
Yeah. Well, good a time as any, I guess, to take a look at what we got for about 365 with some of our Stanley Cup odds here.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. I mean, Bet365, it's the place. We'll tell you a little bit more about the 3-goal early payout in a sec here, but as we have a look-see, I think we got 16 different odds on this chart. Here we are. Well, yeah, we got 16. Yeah. And I mean, obviously Colorado, you got to have them at number 1. I don't know, Cami. Buffalo at plus 1,600 and Montreal at plus 2,500 are incredibly enticing to me. I feel quite confident in the teams in the Atlantic Division this year. I think the Atlantic is an excellent division that kind of gets overlooked a little bit. Obviously, you got Tampa Bay up at plus 425, which I think is a little overzealous. But those Buffalo and Montreal odds to me are very tempting.
You know, I always have time to cheer for a team that's never won it before.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we looked at that. We looked at the first time winner prop from Bet365 a couple of weeks ago. And yeah, I mean, there's a couple of good odds in there. Buffalo, obviously. The Minnesota has the same odds, plus 1,600. I mean, the thing is, I do think Buffalo and Minnesota are as good at teams as Tampa Bay and Carolina. And I do think there is a bit of a tax there of they just haven't won before, impacting their odds. Tampa Bay plus 425, Buffalo plus 1,600. Buffalo won that division. I feel pretty good about those odds on teams that haven't gotten it done before. I get why you might reserve judgment against them, but I think they got a chance.
I would give a little more love to Pittsburgh, Philly, but I don't think either of those teams will truly survive that series. And I think it might be the first round that I'm the most excited for.
I agree. I do think people sometimes forget the series that they played against each other in 2018, which was kind of boring, but the 2012 one very much wasn't. And the ones before that were pretty exciting as well. So, I mean, the 2018 one, I think Sidney Crosby scored something like 16 points in 6 games. But then the Penguins quickly got vanquished thereafter, as they were going for a three-peat that year, actually. So, yeah, I mean, I think Pittsburgh's going to win that series, but I don't know anything beyond that.
People questioning if the Sabres can take a playoff series. That city is so excited to have playoff hockey. Like, if I'm playing the Sabres, I am shipping my own food into that city because, I don't know, you go to any restaurant, they're probably going to try to give you listeria or something just to better their odds to keep playing in the postseason.
2 words, Josh Doan. That's enough. They're going to win. Buffalo's going to go on a run. And I will tell you about, back to the unicorn, I will be there for every Buffalo Sabres playoff game. No joke.
I got a Vanek jersey kicking around in here.
I got a Vanek jersey. I got a Buffalo Sabres quote unquote turd burger jersey. And if you haven't heard of it, I will put it in the chat for Jack so he can put it up on screen.
Please do.
The turd
we all
burger.
Like to learn.
Yeah.
Those are our playoff odds brought to you by Bet365, an official partner of the NHL, which has 3-goal early payout. If the team you're rallying for goes up by 3 at any point in the game, they'll pay you out early. Hockey moves fast, and now with a 3-goal early payout, there's one less thing you have to wait around for. Download the Bet365 app and see what early payout's all about. You got to be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. I mean, I think pretty much from here, everything is for the barn burner guys to break down. I know we didn't give Rhett love talking about afterburners, but guy doesn't work late this year.
Rhett gets enough. Rhett is overloaded with praise, and quite rightfully so. But I like to divvy it up, a little bit more fairly. And Rhett, I mean, everybody knows that he's a 44 out of 10. We don't need to duplicate the praise, for a guy who already gets, plenty of praise.
A couple things we should wrap up here, though. Oh my gosh.
I have one of these. Doesn't have a name on it, but it's a blank. I got it for $40 at Value Village once. And I intend to wear it. And you know what? I will say, I have 2 promises here. 2 promises here. If Buffalo wins 1 round, I will get a name on the back of this. And if Buffalo wins 2 rounds, I will buy a Josh Doan jersey in addition. So hold me to it. By the way, my mom just texted me. Hi, Mom. And she says, you forgot a couple of hosts. What about the 2 swearing guys? That's verbatim what she just said to me. So, and you are right, Mom. So Mike and Jordan, keep on swearing. That's all I got. Way to go, boys.
Unite.
Another great year for the In the Dome show.
Oh man, a couple last things I wanted to talk about here. There was a really nice note to end this last week of the regular season. Cade Heisler had the day of his life today. The kid who got Dustin Wolf's stick the other night, got to come in for practice today, brought Dustin Wolf a happy birthday balloon, which is just adorable. Wolf signed the stick. He signed Cade's jersey. I love that Connor said on the broadcast that it is imperative that professional athletes take the time to do things like this. It might not always look like chucking a stick into the stands or just, giving someone a puck in a lineup, but to take the time to connect and form these memories for kids. But a lot of people were at the Dome today interviewing Cade, and he had some great quotes about why Wolf was his idol. He turns his size into motivation, proves that size isn't everything. Super well-spoken kid, so sweet. Just a great way to end the season on a high note that way. It's like Eric Francis did a great job telling the story, but to hear about that young guy who quit hockey because of bullying around Christmas. His brother has been diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. Just a tough year for a young family, and they've got to see something pretty beautiful take place in an arena where they have found a lot of joy cheering on the Flames. So,
hey, might get to play some games.
The Heisler family going forward, honestly, it doesn't end after tonight. Like that is everyone's a part of the Sea of Red family, right?
I bet that kid will get to play some games at the new Esso community rink, I would imagine. That'll be
I
pretty
would
cool.
sure hope so, because it sounds like you've got a new team for next year.
Yeah, love it. Keep it up, buddy.
Yeah. And late third star, I'd say, White Cloud got knocked in the face on Tuesday and exited the game?
Yes.
Turns out he left something behind on the ice.
Oh, don't tell me.
Just a tooth. Just a tooth.
Teeth.
One of the ice crew went back out and found it. But the thing is, he is getting married in July.
Oh. Gotta have the teeth looking good.
You gotta have the teeth looking good, but it sounds like it has been at least temporarily glued back into his mouth.
Take it from somebody who definitely does not have teeth for TV. Yeah. Yeah, you got to look good for your wedding. So good props to the arena folk. The ice crew, they know their stuff. They do a good job.
They're on it. And his fiance, Maddie, I think they said her name was, feel your pain, girl, because Dylan and his best friend got into one years ago and knocked out each other's front teeth, and his fake tooth is a touch longer than the other one.
Oh, it's like the James Neal teeth. Remember the James
I
Neal
wouldn't
teeth?
go that far.
Ooh, yeah, they were bright white. Yeah.
Oh no, not the chiclet, like the Hollywood veneer teeth.
They were so bad. Well, you know what? You wanted to go into a bit of a rabbit hole here. Speaking of teeth, Tom Cruise, famously.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm.
Famously crazy teeth, symmetrical. Like one of his front teeth is like right down the middle of his mouth, of his face. Go back and look up how Tom Cruise looked in the movie The Outsiders, and get back to me, because those be some absolutely crazy teeth. Like, whoa, Jack, if you got time, go look up Tom Cruise Outsiders teeth, and you'll see the wonders of modern dentistry truly in action.
This is why I love old RuPaul's Drag Race, because the reads are so good. And now I get to pull out this gem that I absolutely did not come up with. Did Black & Decker have a sale? Because you got a mouthful of tools, honey.
Oh no, Tom. Oh no. And you can see the one tooth on the right. It's like it's dead center in the middle of his mouth. Poor Tommy. He always had the movie star eyebrows and the eyes and the nose. They were always there. He always had them. But once he got into the Jerry Bruckheimer canon, he fixed those up pretty quick. Poor guy.
Jack,
Thanks,
have
Jack.
you read The Outsiders?
So I read The Outsiders. I feel like that was a book in school.
Yeah.
It
That was
sure-
record time, by the way, on the image search, Jack. Like, holy smokes.
I was ready. I knew you were going down some rabbit hole. I needed to be ready.
I would have sent it, but I will readily admit this is game 82 on Afterburner, and I'm sitting here at the desk in the Marteloop studio, and my computer is dead and my phone is dead. So, and I have 2 reads left to do in this show. We have our reads, and I will still do them because I'm a professional.
Do you want me to do them, Mike?
No, I can do them. I promise you I can do them. But also, Jack, do you have the option to put the chat overlay on? Because I would still like to read it if possible. So yeah, that's all I got. Cami, should we do the road ahead?
Sure.
Yeah. Road ahead, folks. It's brought to you by your Prairie Toyota dealers. The new Tacoma is a super, super cool truck. And it's got a new iForce engine that allows it to tow up to 6,400 pounds. That's not a joke. That's like 27 Adam Klapkas, or so I am told. It's also got a really cool monitoring system that allows you to see directly under the cab while the vehicle is moving. And you can get into one for your very own. Head on over to your Prairie Toyota dealers, or shoptoyota.ca, and you can check out their inventory of new Tacomas. They're fantastic trucks, and you can get one today during Red Tag days from March through May. I think that was a thoroughly acceptable job.
Yeah, you sure did it, pal. Want to thank Van City 3000 for a 1999 super chat here. It's only a 2% difference to win the lottery between 30th and 29th. Also, if the worst case happens and they drop 2 spots, the Flames will pick the player they want at either 5th or 6th. I'm optimistic for the future. And on that, should we run the tankathon a couple times here, Jack?
Well, that's the road ahead. I mean, where else are we driving to if not to the draft lottery on May the 5th? So let's do it. Let's put it up on screen. I think we got it, right, Jack?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, here we go. He's such a pro. Jack is such a pro. Here we go. All right. Number 1. Let's do it. Oh.
Ugh.
Hey, you know what? That is still the Flames' second top 5 pick in their history. But Toronto moves up. Oh, man. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, that's that's resetting. Okay. Oh. Oh. See, we're getting the bad ones out of the way. These ones, I mean, Brosevsky said in the chat, it doesn't count. Here, let's do. Okay, one more time. This one is okay. We got Grande Economics, Pensioners, member. Okay, let's do it. And okay, Jack, we got to do one more. This is okay. I think your cursor is melting. It's cursed. It's okay. Let's see what we got. One more. Hey! 4th from last, 4 spins. We got it. Look at that. Can you imagine
if come on down?
Okay, but can you imagine if San Jose moves up again? Oh,
I
man.
can't. Look at what Edmonton did for years.
Oh, my goodness. You know what? And I was going to say this earlier in the show, and I forgot about it, but I want to bring it up again here. I will say, San Jose, people put San Jose up on a pedestal, and for very good reason. Max Celebrini is an incredible player. They've drafted some really good players. But also, San Jose has Max Celebrini who had 120 points this year. Nobody else on that team had more than 60. That is a team that has a lot going for it, but they also have a lot to work on. They very much do. And with Celebrini, obviously they have the hardest piece to get. By the same token, it is not, there is still a lot to build. And there is a lot for the other teams in the Flames region to build. And the Flames, by the same token, have built a decent amount. Now, you know, I am not going to sit here and try to justify saying that Calgary is on the same pedestal as San Jose, because they're clearly not. But by the same token, it takes a long time. It takes a lot of cracks at it. And just because you get one guy doesn't mean that you have instantly 5 or 10. You can elevate the guys you already have, absolutely. But there's still a lot of growing left to do. And so if the Flames do get number 1 this year, that's fantastic. If they don't, I still don't see anything to lead me to believe that they are going to be out of the basement next year.
Well, folks, we've stretched this on for a long while now. We'll make this the last call to get in comments and super chats. And while we take a moment, Truck Month is on at GMC. So if you want something reliable, tough, and ready for whatever the schedule throws at you, that's the 2026 Sierra 1500 Pro Graphite Crew Cab in a nutshell. It can be yours for 0% financing for 72 months. And with a factory 2-inch lift, off-road suspension, and 5.3-liter V8, this is a ready-for-anything truck. So don't miss out. Get to your local GMC dealer and take advantage of Truck Month.
I was going to talk about the 2-inch factory lift gate.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Well, maybe you can come to the draft show tomorrow and tell us all about it.
Yeah. 2-inch factory lift gate. It's got some great stuff. 5.3-liter V8. Like, that's not a V6. That's not an inline 4 like you might see at some other truck stores. That's a 5.3-liter V8. Holy smokes.
How many liter V8?
5.3 liter. Yeah, it's wild. Wild stuff.
Well, I think that's about time to wrap it. This is our last Afterburner of the season. The Flames finished 34, 39, and 9. They beat the LA Kings 3-1. Zane Parekh delivers the best goal of his career so far. I know Flames fans all hope there's plenty more where that came from. Arseny Sergeev comes out and has a hell of a debut to get the win. And Flames have the 4th best odds to pick first in the 2026 NHL draft. And, you know, maybe we'll be singing a very different tune about the expectations and outlook of the season come September.
Cami, I'm so excited for 6 months off. But I'm also excited for next year. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I mean, I'm right back to hockey on Friday.
Well, 6 months off in the figurative sense. I mean, obviously, who among us are not going to be watching the next 2 months of hockey? But still, 6 months off from the Calgary Flames, A-okay in my books at this point.
Yeah.
God bless them.
Heck yeah. Thanks for being along for the ride, everybody. We appreciate you. We'll see you soon. Probably see a bunch of you in person tomorrow at Hotel Arts. Barnburner guys got you from here.
Fine, I'll come.
There you go. That's the spirit.
Bye.
Bye.